Have you ever wondered why some seniors seem to defy aging while others feel constantly drained? Could it be that a few overlooked nutrients are silently holding you back? And what if the real key to sharper thinking, stronger movement, and deeper sleep lies in 6 simple vitamins your doctor may never mention? I'm 90 years old and walk better than many folks in their 40s. I don't say that to impress you. I say it because I want to offer hope. If you've felt like your energy is slipping, your mind feels foggy, or your body just isn't bouncing back the way it used to, you're not alone. And more importantly, it doesn't have to stay that way. In this video, I'll be sharing the 6 science-backed vitamins that helped me feel alive again. They didn't just give me back physical strength. They sharpened my thinking, lifted my mood, and reignited my passion for life. And here's something you should know. The very last vitamin on this list didn't just help me move better. It completely transformed the way I see the world. It might do the same for you. Before we dive in, if you find this video helpful, please give it a like. Your support helps me continue to share what I've learned through decades of trial, error, and experience. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to invite you to join our community. Turn on the bell so you won't miss future health tips tailored for our age. If you enjoy this video, comment 1 below. If not, comment 0, so I know how to improve. Your feedback means a lot. Now let's get to the heart of it. I'm not a doctor, but I've lived something real, and I believe in passing it on with the same sincerity that it was once shared with me. This video isn't about miracles. It's about proven nutrients, long-term consistency, and the desire to live better, not just longer. Stay with me, because the last vitamin on this list didn't just support my body. It changed the way I speak to myself, the way I think, and the way I step out into each new day. But first, let me ask you something. How old are you? And where are you watching from? Share it in the comments. I'd love to know who's walking this journey with me. Now, let's clear up something essential. After age 70, our bodies simply don't work the same way they used to. And that's not a reason to feel defeated. It's just part of the natural process. Acknowledging that truth isn't giving up. It's preparing wisely. You could eat well and stay active and still notice changes. Why? Because at this stage in life, even if your plate looks healthy, your body may not be absorbing nutrients the way it used to. What once kept you strong may now slip through the cracks. Your immune system slows down, muscles weaken, your appetite may fade, and the spark that used to get you out of bed each morning can start to dim. Here's the part most people miss. They assume this is just normal aging. But what if it's not? What if the exhaustion, the brain fog, or the muscle pain is actually your body's way of saying, "I'm missing something"? Let's find out what that something might be, together. Even if you eat well or try to stay active, something begins to shift inside the body as you get older. It's not always visible at first, but your body gradually becomes less efficient at absorbing key nutrients. What once nourished you fully through food alone starts slipping through the cracks. The immune system isn't as sharp in fighting off viruses or infections. Muscles gradually weaken. Appetite often fades without explanation. And that once bright spark that used to get you out of bed in the morning with purpose and energy? It dims day by day, almost so slowly you barely notice, until it starts affecting everything. Here's the real problem. Many people simply chalk all of this up to aging. They think feeling weak, moving slowly, or struggling with brain fog is just how it is at this age. But that's not always the case. In fact, what many people assume is natural decline might actually be something preventable, something simple. More often than you'd expect, it's just a sign that your body is quietly crying out for what it's no longer getting. A missing vitamin, a neglected mineral, or just a nutritional boost your meals alone can no longer provide. Sometimes, it's not even that you're eating poorly. The truth is, even a healthy, well-balanced diet might not be enough anymore. Why? Because as the body ages, it doesn't absorb nutrients as efficiently. I once heard a doctor say something I'll never forget. Most older adults are walking around with at least 3 significant nutritional deficiencies, and they don't even know it. That hit me hard. This isn't about trendy diets or popping a dozen pills every morning. It's about learning what your body truly needs and supplying it with care and intention. I know this from experience. There was a time when I'd wake up feeling like I hadn't slept at all. My legs were sore, my thoughts were cloudy, and I'd quietly accepted that this must be my new normal. But I was wrong. It didn't have to be that way. Everything began to change with one small shift. The first vitamin I added was like flipping on a switch inside me. It was the spark that slowly brought back my energy, and with it, a sense of hope. That vitamin was vitamin D. Now, many people know it as the sunshine vitamin. And while that's true, to me, it became much more than just that. It's the foundation that supports not only your bones, but also your mood. Vitamin D may not be loud in how it works, but don't let that fool you. It's deeply powerful. It helps your body absorb calcium, strengthens your immune system, and here's something many don't realize. It plays a direct role in regulating your mood. Yes, you heard that right. It's not always loneliness or depression causing older adults to feel down. Sometimes it's just a hidden chronic deficiency in vitamin D, and the consequences are serious. When vitamin D is low, your bones become more fragile, your risk of fractures increases, you may develop muscle aches without clear cause, and worst of all, your energy levels plummet. Let me tell you about Mary, my 85-year-old neighbor. She's one of the kindest women I know, always ready with a warm smile, even when in pain. Over the course of just 2 years, Mary had 3 serious fractures: her wrist, her hip, and most recently, her ankle. And all from simple, everyday accidents like tripping over a rug. Eventually, her doctor decided to run some blood work, and the results couldn't have been clearer. It turned out Mary had a severe vitamin D deficiency. Not because she disliked the sun or avoided it on purpose. She simply said she had nowhere to go. Most of her days were spent sitting indoors watching television. Her meals were small, simple, and she had never taken any kind of supplement. No one had ever mentioned she might need one. But once her doctor identified the deficiency and got her started on a daily vitamin D regimen, along with just 10 quiet minutes each morning on her front porch in the sun, things began to shift. She hasn't had another fracture since. More than that, she told me something that stuck with me. I feel more awake. My mood is lighter, and I actually sleep through the night now. That kind of change doesn't just happen by chance. There's real science behind it. In fact, research shows that over 70% of adults over the age of 70 are deficient in vitamin D, and most don't even realize it. That statistic alone should make you pause and think. Are you getting enough? So how do you get this vital nutrient? The best and most natural source is sunlight. Just 10 to 15 minutes of exposure daily on your arms or legs, without sunscreen, is usually enough to kickstart your body's own vitamin D production. But let's be honest, for many older adults, that's easier said than done. Whether it's aging skin, mobility issues, or simply lifestyle habits, getting that sun time can be a challenge. That's why many doctors now recommend taking vitamin D supplements. Always under medical supervision, of course. Too much vitamin D can be harmful if you overdo it, so it's important to follow safe guidelines. You can also get this nutrient through fortified foods like milk, yogurt, cereals, and fatty fish, such as salmon or sardines. It may sound simple, but adding the right source can change how your body feels every single day. For me, vitamin D was the first supplement I introduced into my routine. The results didn't show up overnight, but within a few weeks, I began noticing subtle yet powerful changes. My legs stopped trembling when I stood up. My thoughts weren't as foggy. My mood? Brighter, calmer. It was like a silent transformation taking place inside me, one I hadn't realized how much I needed. And that's why I always start with vitamin D. Sometimes, the first light that changes your life doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. Now, let's move on to the second vitamin. This one didn't just restore my energy, it gave me back my focus and mental sharpness. I'm talking about vitamin B12. Many people know B12 as the energy vitamin. And while that's certainly true, it goes far beyond just giving you a little boost. Vitamin B12 is essential for maintaining a strong, responsive nervous system. It helps keep the connections in your brain firing efficiently, keeps your muscles alert, and even helps you find the right word when you're in the middle of a conversation. Here's something most folks don't realize. After age 65, your body becomes much less efficient at absorbing B12. So even if you eat meat, eggs, or fish regularly, your digestive system might not be pulling in enough of this vital nutrient. Even if you eat meat, eggs, or fish regularly, your body might not be absorbing vitamin B12 the way it used to. As we age, the digestive system simply becomes less efficient, and that means vital nutrients like B12 can start slipping through the cracks. A deficiency in this vitamin is far more common than most people think, and its symptoms can be surprisingly deceptive. Have you found yourself forgetting things more often? Do your hands or feet sometimes tingle for no clear reason? Maybe you struggle to stay focused or wake up feeling drained, even after a full night's sleep. Most people chalk it up to aging, but the real culprit could be something much simpler: a B12 deficiency. Let me share a story that hits close to home. My lifelong friend George, a kind-hearted man with a sharp sense of humor, began to worry a few years ago. He'd forget familiar names mid-sentence, pause in the middle of conversations, and sometimes just stare into space like his thoughts had wandered off and left him behind. Naturally, his family feared the worst: early dementia. George himself was terrified that something serious was happening to his brain. Thankfully, his daughter, ever attentive, brought him to the doctor. A round of blood tests revealed the truth. It wasn't Alzheimer's. It wasn't cognitive decline. It was a severe B12 deficiency. What a relief that must have been. George began weekly B12 shots, and after a while, he transitioned to sublingual tablets that dissolve under the tongue. These bypass the digestive system entirely, making them more effective for older adults. And I'll tell you, within a few months, he was back at his piano, laughing, joking, and cracking the same old corny jokes we all missed. His spark returned. What looked like the end was really just a nutritional alarm his body had been ringing all along. B12 isn't something your body makes on its own. You get it from animal-based foods: meat, fish, eggs, dairy. But as I mentioned earlier, even if your diet is good, your body's ability to absorb B12 declines with age. That's why many doctors recommend a supplement, and in more serious cases, injections. Sublingual tablets are a great option too. They're absorbed directly into the bloodstream, making them ideal for seniors with digestive challenges. One thing my doctor once told me stuck with me for good: your memory needs nourishment too. Isn't that a powerful thought? We often believe brain fog or forgetfulness is just something we have to accept with age. But sometimes, what we need isn't a crossword puzzle. It's a biological reset. B12 can be that reset. If your mind feels foggy, disconnected, or just not like it used to be, consider giving this vital nutrient a chance. When the mind begins to clear, suddenly everything else starts to fall back into place. Now, let's talk about a nutrient I completely overlooked until my body cried out for help, literally, with cramps, restless nights, and tension that made it hard to relax. I'm talking about magnesium. And while magnesium is technically a mineral, not a vitamin, it deserves a place right here alongside the others, because its impact on the body is just as profound. It helps regulate your muscles, your nerves, and your sleep. But when magnesium levels drop, everything can start to feel like it's falling apart. I went through it myself. For weeks, I'd wake up 3 or even 4 times a night, completely restless. The worst part? The leg cramps. They would hit without warning, so sharp that I'd be pacing the hallway in the dark like a ghost, trying to shake off the pain. And it wasn't just physical. I'd feel this strange tension, like my body was wired for no reason, and my thoughts would race just when I needed calm the most. It was as if my mind refused to shut off no matter how tired I felt. Does that sound familiar? I wasn't alone. My neighbor Susan, who's always been active and full of energy, struggled with insomnia for years. She had a strict routine, lights off by 10 p.m., but by 1 a.m. she was wide awake, staring at the ceiling. She'd toss and turn, get a glass of water, check the clock again and again. Nothing helped. The next morning was a battle. Fatigue, irritability, and zero motivation to face the day. Then, on her granddaughter's advice, she tried magnesium. Nothing fancy, just a simple powder dissolved in water each night. She combined it with a light dinner, chamomile tea, and no screens before bed. The first week, nothing changed. But by the second, she made it to 4 a.m. without waking up. And by the third, she said it was the first time in 20 years she slept through the night. Magnesium has a quiet kind of strength. It relaxes tight muscles, reduces spasms, supports recovery, and soothes the nervous system. Even more, it plays a key role in producing melatonin, that hormone your body relies on to know when it's time to sleep. Do you ever get leg cramps at night? Feel like your bed becomes a battlefield instead of a place to rest? Wake up more tired than you were before sleeping? You could be running low on magnesium. You don't need a serious illness for that to happen. Aging alone, stress, or even a diet lacking in vegetables can gradually reduce your body's magnesium levels, especially since our guts don't absorb minerals as well with age. Thankfully, there are plenty of options now. Capsules, powders, or blends combined with other calming nutrients like lemon balm or theanine. I personally take a low dose before bed, and it's become part of my nightly ritual. Here's a tip. Pair your magnesium with a simple dinner. Nothing heavy, just something like a warm broth, a boiled egg, maybe some rice or steamed vegetables. Add in a calming herbal tea, valerian root or chamomile, and then your magnesium supplement. The result? Your body begins to feel like it's being gently nudged towards sleep instead of pushed off a cliff of exhaustion. At this stage in life, good sleep isn't just nice to have. It's essential. It's medicine. If tension, pain, or racing thoughts are robbing you of rest, try magnesium. You may find, as I did, that you don't necessarily need more hours of sleep. Just deeper, better sleep. And now, let's talk about something that completely changed the way I think, move, and feel. Omega-3. You may not realize it, but this good fat works like a natural lubricant inside your body. It's essential for your brain, your heart, and your joints. And once you cross 70, it becomes even more valuable, almost like gold for your body. Let me share a story about Anna, who was 81 at the time. A widow and lifelong artist, her home had once been alive with color, filled with canvases and creativity. But gradually, she stopped painting. Not because she didn't love it anymore, but because something in her mind felt off. She began forgetting the names of colors, struggling to hold on to ideas, and watching her creativity fade like a sunset disappearing behind clouds. It wasn't just age creeping in. It was as if her brain was slowing down, step by step. Her doctor recommended something surprisingly simple: daily omega-3, not only for her memory, but also for her aching knees and stiff hands. Opening jars had become a painful chore. 3 weeks after starting omega-3, Anna walked into her old art room, picked up a brush, and began to paint again. With a smile that could light up the room, she said, "My head turned back on." And honestly, I wasn't surprised. Did you know that over 60% of your brain is made of fat? Not just any fat, but the kind found in omega-3, especially EPA and DHA. These fatty acids are like natural anti-inflammatories. They help protect neurons, boost communication between brain cells, and shield your brain from the micro damage that naturally comes with aging. But that's not all. Omega-3 also supports heart health by lowering triglycerides, improving blood circulation, and helping protect against dangerous heart rhythms. And when it comes to joints, whether it's your knees, wrists, or hips, omega-3 can make a noticeable difference. Inflammation inside the body shows up on the outside as stiffness, discomfort, and slower movements. But with enough omega-3, that rust starts to wear away. So, how can you get more of it? Start by eating fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, or tuna, at least twice a week. Not a fish fan? That's okay. You can also incorporate chia seeds, ground flaxseed, or walnuts into your meals. And if food isn't enough, consider high-quality supplements. Look for ones that clearly state the amount of EPA and DHA. And don't forget to check for purity certifications to avoid harmful substances like mercury. Personally, I take mine with breakfast, alongside my vitamin D. And I can tell you, I notice the difference. My thoughts feel clearer, my mood stays more balanced, and my hands, they don't ache when I twist open a jar. At this stage in life, the goal isn't to run marathons. It's to move without pain and to think with clarity. Omega-3s have helped me do both. Now, let's talk about a vitamin that many people underestimate. Yet it plays a powerful role when your body stops responding the way it used to. Vitamin C. Most people think of it as the go-to for colds, but I'm here to tell you, it does far more than just help fight sniffles. It's like a quiet guardian inside your body, always working behind the scenes. Just look at Tom, age 78. He kept getting sick, catching colds often, dealing with urinary tract infections, swollen gums, and this constant sense that his immune system was struggling to keep up. He assumed it was just part of getting older. But then, one afternoon, his daughter, who happens to be a nutritionist, looked at him thoughtfully and asked, "Dad, are you taking any vitamin C?" Tom chuckled and shrugged it off, saying he ate some fruit now and then. That answer made her raise an eyebrow. She gently explained that after age 70, the body becomes far less efficient at absorbing and utilizing vitamin C, just when the need for it becomes greater than ever. That conversation changed everything. Tom started taking 500 milliliters of vitamin C each day, under his daughter's guidance. Since then, he hasn't caught a single cold, even through the winter season. He also noticed his skin feeling noticeably firmer, his gums less sore when brushing, and a stronger sense of resilience overall. It all began to make sense. Vitamin C does much more than just support the immune system. It helps build collagen, the structural protein that supports your skin, blood vessels, cartilage, and gum tissue. It's like the glue that holds everything together, especially in the aging body. But there's more. It's also a powerful antioxidant helping to fight off free radicals, those unstable molecules that speed up aging and wear down your cells. Now, here's something worth remembering. Not everyone needs the same dose. For most older adults, a range between 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily is typically sufficient. There's no need to go beyond that unless recommended by a doctor. You can get vitamin C from citrus fruits like oranges, tangerines, and grapefruit. But it's also found in other foods like kiwi, red bell peppers, strawberries, and broccoli. And yes, high-quality supplements are a great option, especially if your appetite isn't what it used to be. Here's a simple but valuable tip. If you eat iron-rich plant foods like lentils, spinach, or beans, try pairing them with a source of vitamin C. Why? Because vitamin C helps your body absorb non-heme, plant-based iron more effectively, boosting your energy and preventing fatigue. If you've noticed easy bruising, slow healing wounds, or bleeding gums when brushing, your body might be quietly signaling a need for more vitamin C. Personally, I take mine with breakfast. Since doing so, I've found that my energy remains more stable throughout the day. My skin isn't as dry, and I just feel more protected from the inside out. You see, at this age, the focus isn't just on healing anymore. It's about prevention. And when it comes to prevention, vitamin C has become one of my most trusted allies. Now, let's move to a nutrient that surprised me the most. Not because of its claims, but because of the profound impact it had on my body. We're talking about coenzyme Q10, often shortened to CoQ10. Before you tune out, thinking it sounds like some complex scientific term from a lab, let me explain in plain terms. CoQ10 is something your body naturally produces. It lives inside nearly every cell and plays one major role: energy. Not just surface-level energy, but deep, cellular energy. Think of each cell as a little factory. CoQ10 is the engine that keeps those factories running. But here's the challenge. After age 50, your natural levels of CoQ10 begin to drop. And by the time you're 70, the levels can become so low that even simple tasks, like walking up a flight of stairs, feel like climbing a mountain. I'll give you an example. Jack, a good friend of mine, is now 92. He still lives alone, reads the newspaper every morning, and insists on cooking his own meals. But just a few years ago, the stairs in his home became a serious challenge. He was out of breath, his legs were heavy, and he felt so exhausted by mid-morning that he had to lie down. He even started wondering if something was wrong with his heart. His cardiologist asked him a straightforward question. "Jack, are you taking statins?" Jack nodded, explaining that he'd been on cholesterol medication for years. The doctor didn't hesitate. He looked him in the eye and said, "Then you need CoQ10. That's because while statins help manage cholesterol, they also suppress your body's natural CoQ10 production, often leaving people feeling weak, foggy, and drained of stamina." Jack took the advice seriously. He began with 30 milligrams of CoQ10 each morning, then increased it to 50 milligrams after a few weeks. Just a month later, he was walking up the stairs again, without gasping for breath. He smiled and told me, "I don't know if it's a placebo, but I swear it's the Q10. His words may have sounded casual, but the science is anything but. It wasn't a placebo at all. Numerous studies confirm that CoQ10 plays a vital role in keeping your heart strong, your muscles resilient, and your mind sharp. It's involved in energy production at the mitochondrial level, the very powerhouses of your cells. When taken consistently, especially in soft gel form with breakfast, it becomes more readily absorbed into your system. If you're over 70, on statins, or simply feeling chronically fatigued, this might be your missing puzzle piece. It's not some magic supplement, it's cellular science. As one of my colleagues once said, energy isn't a mystery, it's mitochondria, and mitochondria run on CoQ10. Now that you've learned about these 6 essential vitamins, each one with its own power to restore, protect, and uplift, you might be wondering, where do I begin? Do I need all 6? And most importantly, is it safe to start? These are excellent questions, and the first step is non-negotiable. Talk to your doctor. I know that may sound like a broken record, but many older adults begin taking supplements based on what a neighbor said, or something they saw in a video, without any medical consultation. Just because a vitamin is natural doesn't mean it's harmless. In fact, taken incorrectly, it can interact with your medications or underlying health conditions in ways you wouldn't expect. If you're on heart medication or have kidney concerns, certain combinations may not be safe. A doctor can run a simple blood panel to check your nutrient levels and let you know if you're low on something, or if you're actually fine without adding anything new. Second, be selective. Not all supplements are created equal. Some brands are trustworthy, lab-tested, and approved by doctors. Others? They load their capsules with 20 unnecessary ingredients, flashy labels, or bold claims, but little substance. Choose products from reputable labs with purity certifications. Ideally, look for ones recommended by medical professionals. You don't need neon packaging or miracle promises. A good supplement is quiet, honest, and effective. And third, consistency is everything. Vitamins aren't like painkillers. You won't feel them work in 30 minutes. They're more like watering a garden. The change is gradual, but it comes. Over time, your body begins to shift, subtly at first, then powerfully. I always tell my patients, supplements aren't magic, they're smart habits. Build a routine. Use a weekly pill organizer if it helps. Set a reminder on your phone. Know whether your supplement works best with breakfast, lunch, or at bedtime. And don't forget, supplements work best when paired with a healthy foundation. Balanced meals, enough water, movement, and rest. A capsule on its own won't fix everything. But when taken intentionally, it's a small act of self-care, an investment in the body that's carried you this far. Build smart habits. That's where the real transformation begins. If needed, organize your supplements in a weekly pill box. Set gentle reminders so you won't forget. Choose the right time, whether it's with breakfast, lunch, or before bed, based on the specific vitamin's needs. But most importantly, always pair your supplements with good, nourishing food. A capsule won't work miracles if your meals are poor or you're not drinking enough water. Taking your vitamins consistently is more than a health routine. It's an act of self-respect, a daily decision to care for the body that's carried you this far. Now, while we may be wrapping up, this moment could be the beginning of something completely new for you. Today, we explored 6 quiet yet powerful allies that helped restore my energy, sharpen my thinking, and bring back the spark I thought I'd lost. These aren't magic pills. They're tools. Tools that work, even in your 70s, 80s, or 90s. Because the truth is, your body still listens when you treat it with kindness and care. Let's quickly revisit what we covered. Vitamin D supported my bones and lifted my mood. Vitamin B12 brought back my memory and mental clarity. Magnesium gave me the restful sleep I had missed for years. Omega-3 eased my joints and helped me think more clearly. Vitamin C made me feel resilient, inside and out. And finally, CoQ10, my inner spark, gave me the energy to face each day with strength and purpose. It's not about living forever. It's about living well, no matter your age. I'm 90, and I walk like I'm 40. Not because I have some special gene, but because I made the choice to believe I was still worth caring for. And I'm here to remind you that you are too. Now, maybe you won't start with all 6 vitamins. Maybe your journey will look different. But the key is the same: commitment. Your body is still here. It's still breathing, still beating, still full of potential. Don't give up on it now. This may be the end of this video, but it could very well be the start of a new chapter in your health journey. Today, I shared how these 6 vital nutrients, vitamin D, B12, magnesium, omega-3, vitamin C, and CoQ10, restored my joy, energy, and mental clarity. At 90 years old, I'm living proof that no matter your age, your body can still thrive when given the right support. So let me ask you, what's one thing you've taken away from this video? Is there a new vitamin you want to try? A healthy habit you're ready to build? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with me in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please let me know by leaving a comment. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos filled with practical wisdom for living better every day. Until next time, stay well, stay strong, and keep nourishing your life with intention. I wish you good health, lasting happiness, and peaceful days ahead. And remember to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more content like this.